Hello and welcome to BCC Racing and the Beaconsfield Crit Club. Tonight's race, the Seaside Sprint, 21.8 kilometres long, 3 laps, 6.3k, not particularly hilly at 172 metres of climbing, about 50 riders in the start pen waiting to go with 20 seconds until the gun goes off. Many of the riders racing last night in the handicap race, so some will be tired. 9 seconds, 8 seconds to go. And they're off. And there we are, managed to catch hold of Barry Davis, unable to race last night. Undoubtedly has saved his legs for this evening's race. And you may notice, unusually, he is in category A and all of a sudden putting out 5.2 watts per kilo. We didn't think he had it. We didn't think he had it in him, but let's see if he manages to hold that. He is often, of course, up towards the front with Cat B, and then tends to drift away as the Cat A's reach their full speed and stride. But today, he's right up towards the front. But not behind this guy. Sorry, I should say he is behind this guy. Chris Brackey in Cat A as well. I think we also have, at least on the start list, Stoneham, who had a great performance last night in the handicap race. And Katie Jury this time. In fact, she's right there. There she is in 5th place at the moment. See David Dearlove in there, returned to racing. Haven't seen him in the last couple of races. Empson had a good performance last night, actually. Almost caught, in fact, caught a number of riders, managed to drop Mayhew, Smith and others. Pulled away from them. Clearly back on form. O'Brien. Up towards the front as well, and looking back already, just 1 minute 30 into the race, and riders are spread out over a good 300-400 metres. Just move. There is Stoneham. He knows what he's doing, just sitting there towards the back of the bunch, not getting too carried away, waiting patiently, and I'm sure he'll stay there for quite some time. And behind him, just behind him, Taff, and there's Alexis Brown underway. Didn't get very far last night. Started, stopped, and then disappeared. I think he had some technical problems. Scott Rowland. He'll be looking to do well tonight, but if he is thinking of that, he needs to sort of start making a move now, really, and not get dropped. All too easy to, well, he's not getting dropped, but all too easy to drift away from the leading groups. And before you know it, it's an impossible task. White and Langen here together. There's Collier again, riding from the USA in California. He can do the same again tonight. And behind him, oh, everyone's just disappeared off my screen. Oh, they're back again. As I was saying, talking about Shannon. Oh, Mayhew Smith is in there. He couldn't hold on to Empson. Almost did, but Empson managed to pull away towards the end with him, really. He's not doing so well this evening. A power up in use already. He's dropped away from the group that I would expect him to be riding with. Ware, I just saw on the screen there, he had a great sprint, but I think it was Shannon that beat him to that finish line last night. Now at 3.5k in, having a look, see who is towards the rear of the field. Tom Langen at 3.8k, K Brada at 3.7. In fact, looks as if there's something wrong here, although he's putting out the power. Ware again, just trying to find the back of the field. Some riders was expecting to turn up. I can't see. So 119 riders in total, so an awful lot just appeared literally within the last minute before the start. It's always quite a stressful thing to do. Right, can't see any riders towards the back. Let's move up towards the front of the field and see what's happening with the action. Is Davis still hanging on in category A? There's, I think, the first look at Taff. So here we are, Taff at 4.7k along with Brown, riding nicely. And then just ahead of them, slightly out of view. Let's have a look. Can't quite see them. Maybe when we get round the corner. No, just out of view, I think. But slightly 20 seconds further ahead, we have Dearlove, who is closing in on the back of Cat A. And just ahead of him, Stoneham, Jury. Stoneham not making his move. Empson right up there. So it can only mean that Davis is still in here as well, as I haven't seen him further back in the field. There he is, 5.5k in. Lancier's ahead of him. Lancier and Davis, frequent battle. This is one of the small inclines in this route. Lancier and Davis often competing against each other. As I say, fairly flat course, so should suit Lancier. He's another rider that appeared last night in the race and then disappeared. Apparently another technical problem. Bracky is up the front for Beaconsfield. I just saw him somewhere there. There he is. In 6th second, right at the front of this pack. Davis just tucked in behind him. O'Brien there as well. Stoneham and Jury all in this bunch. 6k in. Quarter of the way round in 8 minutes. Well, just under quarter of the way round, but roughly, just to get some idea. So it should be about a 40-45 minute race, something of that nature. Too early yet to make any predictions. But the bigger riders, Dearlove, Lancier, should do well under these conditions. But many of these riders were racing last night, and while they may feel good, it could impact their performance tonight. It's an opportunity for people like Katie Jury, who wasn't racing last night, and Davis, and Lancier in effect. 7k in. So in Group 2 on the road, see if we can find who is in that. In fact, I just saw it is in fact 24 seconds further back. Group 2 for Beaconsfield being led by Scott Rowland along with Alexis Brown. And not far behind actually, riding very well, is Collier, Shannon, Quebrada moving up the field a little bit. Langan is in there. And looks like Mayhew Smith, I think I could see. So that's Group 2. Have a good gap to the next group of riders, some 13 seconds further back, which includes Taff. And Shannon out the front of this group. He won't stay there too long, but nice to see he's taking his turn. And behind these riders, Ware, a further minute. No, that's not right. White and Ware, just find the gap with them. They might be in the same group. They're about 10 seconds further back. In fact, there we are. We can see the group that has Shannon Collier just going around the corner to the left. And in this group, we have White, Taff, and Ware. There they are. Although this group's beginning to splinter slightly, but not for the Beaconsfield riders, I think. And behind them, that was Group 3. We may not have. Is that Chris Brooks? Possibly. I don't know. It's the right kit on. Not sure. And no sooner had I said that, and he's in 8th place. But that's normal. The riders are just rotating around in this group. What we're really interested in is the gap from these front runners increasing or decreasing. So riders on the second lap now, and it looks as if that has Empson. I'm not sure if Empson has just dropped off the back of this group or not. In fact, he has. Empson looks as if he's gone pop already. That's a bit disappointing to see. He was with this group, I'm sure he was, but now 20 seconds further back and unfortunately isolated. So the main second group chasing now at 1 minute 4 seconds behind the leading group. That gap has increased. Empson just as I see something interesting happening here. So in this group, Roland, Brown, in fact, what's happening to O'Brien? Oh, he's still in the front group. Davis there as well. Sorry, my connection's still not particularly reliable for whatever reason. But Empson still by himself and has come off the par a bit. I think he knows he's not going to keep up with that group tonight unless he has some technical problems. So it looks as if he is tactically moving back to join the group chasing him, which has Roland and Brown. And then group 3, Quebrada is by himself, has moved through that field. I expected to see that, and he can see Brown ahead of him. Just in the distance there, going round the left-hand corner now. But chasing down, he hasn't got away yet from Langan, Smith, Collier, Shannon. Taff is not, where is he? He's about 8 seconds further back. So this will be an interesting group to watch. Wood in there as well from BCC, Team C. So Quebrada, he is still pulling away. In fact, he sees Roland and Brown ahead of him. Undoubtedly, he's making the effort now to catch up. And he is closing that gap and pulling away from the group behind. So that's exactly what he's doing. Need to make that transition very quickly. No point riding by yourself in the wind for too long. So the quicker you can bridge that gap, the better. Just went flying past someone there, still on their first lap. And one of the gradients, not particularly long. And I think the steepest is about 5% on this, maybe 6%. As it comes into the volcano. There he is. Oh, that's a good push from Quebrada. now has latched onto the back of Brown and Roland's group. We're just about to, a few metres away. Hopefully he can now take advantage of that group, putting himself right in the middle of the bunch. Will he take advantage and rest for a moment or two? I think he's trying to do Shannon's group. Shannon, Collier, Mayhew, Smith, Langan and Wood. Looks as if, are they is Wood closing now? Hard to tell with the screen keeps going on and off. But Taff, Wood and Ware 5 seconds behind, 6 seconds behind Shannon's group now. I think that might just be a slight increase due to that incline. Come back to them. Roland, Empson. Now 129 for Empson. Has he is in fact, if we look backwards, looking back, that is the group that holds Brown. But further up, the gap to the front group has increased to 1 minute 30 seconds. Lancia still in there, shadowing Davis. Stoneham, Brackey, Jury at 14.4k, halfway through in the second lap, 3-lap race. Dear Love also in here as well. In fact, it would be good to see Dear Love and Lancia working together, both very tall riders. It's about the only opportunity they get to fully draft behind someone. I just saw Brian on the screen. I think he's still in this group as well. He is. It's a rider that sometimes ends up being isolated, so I hope he manages to stick with this. And this is the finish line when it comes round for one more lap, I think. Is it? No, it's the sprint line, not the finish line. And O'Brien in third place on the sprint at the moment, in a time of 12:45. Stoneham moved himself slightly further forward, but still sitting comfortably in the bunch, as is Brackey, Lancia. Van der Merwe still up the front. I've seen him on the front quite often actually. Probably not the place to be for the duration of the race, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing. It's quite often, and I just saw a green jersey being awarded to Katie Jury. Let's have a look at Davis. So heartbeat 173, he now can reach over 180 as reported last night, so he is pushing hard for an average heart rate. Save that extra capacity for a sprint if it comes, and he's holding his own here in the middle of the bunch, 3.2 watts per kilo. He'll need to be careful about that 3.99 average. I have seen him reach 4 for a 20-minute average, fairly regularly actually. But either way, not bad for a man over 50. And here we are, right at the very front of the race. Boden. Apologies if I've not pronounced your name correctly. Now, Katie still doing very well, holding in here. but a very competitive rider. She will not want to let up on this at all. And this is the front of the race, but just this group is now about to lap a couple of riders in front. Right, I was just about to have a look at the gap, but connection dropped once more. So here we have Ware, Wood and Taff, and they are some 12 seconds behind. In fact, might be able to see them, not quite yet. They are some 12 seconds behind this group: Mayhew, Smith, Langan, Collier. Shannon, I'm sure, is in there as well. Shannon is. There's Langan. There is Shannon. And what's up with Empson? Ah, now this is interesting. So Empson has not quite sure. He's still with Roland. In fact, he has. Sorry, it was Brown and Roland. He drifted rearwards to join, and he is with them now. Back up to speed by the looks of it. Much better position for him. And these are two competitive riders. And Kay Brada's in there as well. So he made a break earlier on to try and get away from this group. Doesn't look as if he's managed to hold that. And in fact, that's quite telling with... In fact, there's an interesting... Did I just see... No, he's not managed to hold that. And the gap up to the chasing... Sorry, the group ahead. Let's have a look. Just waiting for the display to settle. Yes, so he's in here with Roland and Brown. And Empson, of course. Right, now 18.6k Dear Love seems to have found himself alone. In fact, just looking back, I keep saying White. There he is. White and Ware. 24 seconds further up. In fact, they are 24 seconds further ahead. Wood and Ware are 24 seconds further ahead. 15 seconds ahead of them. It's the Smith. In fact, no, Smith. What's going on here? Oh, there's the rest of them. Smith is actually pushing on here. Looks as if he's trying to apply some pressure to Shannon and co. At the moment, he is doing just that. But I don't think he'll be pushing that all the way. Not just yet. And the gap to the front group for these riders, I think, has increased to... Can't get up there at the moment. Won't let me. There we go. Let's have a look. Yes, it has increased to 2 minutes. So the leading group is pulling away and continues to pull away. Stoneham, Lancia, Brackey, Jury, Davis, all looking fairly comfortable at this stage. %, 8%. So there's a brief second at 8% on this climb. not long enough to slow all of the riders down, really. Well, not by much. So Lancia looking good. 186 on the heartbeat, so he is working hard. He will be trying to stay away from Davis. Davis I caught a glimpse of there in the same pack. Beginning to splinter a little. I'm not sure who that is at the very front. Let's see if we can find out. It is this guy, Hamblett, and as that Stoneham went for the sprint there, looks as if he might have got it. No. O'Brien and 10:48. Lancia 10:90. Stoneham, can't see him on the display, but that was a nice little sprint. All of the riders wound it up there a bit. In fact, some of them have come to a complete stop. Davis, what's going on here? On my screen, Davis has got off his bike. Or was that the finish? Might have been the finish and I missed it. Could be. Apologies. So that can only mean that the race was a little shorter than I thought. So it looked as if Stoneham might have crossed the line for BCC first. And if I can quickly get to the front, I will get the second group coming in. Not sure who won out of Lancia and Davis. This, I think, now is the next group coming in. Roland, Empson. Oh no, in fact, we have Dearlove riding by himself. 21.2k. He will cross the line next. Over the bridge, finish line in sight. And let him cross the line. But this is the bunch of riders coming up rapidly behind with Quebrada, Empson, Roland. Who else do we have in here? And Brown. This is a difficult one to call. Let's have a look at Empson. Maybe that ride last night has done him some good. Quebrada, of course, was riding last night as well. Faded a little towards the end. Faded, perhaps not the right word. He was just trying to compete against Stoneham. And here we go for the sprint finish for Group 2 coming across the line. Quebrada at 9.6 watts per kilo. Roland's moved into the front by the looks of it. Looks to be Quebrada's going to get it. I think Quebrada, Empson, then Roland. And I missed. I have to go back to the start again. Apologies for this. Trying to get to the Shannon, Collier, Smith group. This is it, in fact. We'll stay with them now. So at the moment, Mayhew Smith, he's continued to hold that lead, but let's focus on Shannon for the moment. So we've got Collier, Langan, Shannon, Mayhew Smith all together. At the moment, Mayhew Smith, here goes the sprint, all winding it up. Not huge power from these riders. They're tired. Is Shannon going to do it? Doesn't look like it. Looks like Mayhew Smith, a good win for him, followed by Shannon, Langan, Collier, then Langan, I think it is. And there they are, just winding down. Warre and White may be the next go. We have Taft, forgotten about him. Collier finished. It's Warre. Looks like he might be. He's certainly across the line ahead of Wood. 21.2 kilometres. That was a good sprint there from Warre. I think Wood might be the last BCC rider on by himself. 3 minutes ahead of the next rider behind him, and 7 minutes. No, that's a rider on a different lap. So 3 minutes ahead of the nearest rider to him. To the rear. His race is over. I don't think we have any more riders on course. Have a quick check. That, I think, is the last riders to cross the line from BCC. So apologies, I sort of missed a bit of the finish there. But I think by chance I got it anyway. It looked like a win from Stoneham, but we'll have to wait for the official results coming in. So thank you all for watching. Next race is on Monday evening. See you all there.